Good morning, everybody out there. Welcome to Beards on the Street. I'm PDW, Perry Dean. Who are you?
This is Aaron.
Hey, Ron.
That's right.
Welcome to our Friday show, and we've got a special guest. I know you can't see him yet, but we're saving that. We're going to do a build-up. A build-up to the boss.
The grand reveal.
The grand reveal. Anyways, welcome everybody. It's been another week. We're here at the live studio, hanging out, drinking coffee. No whiskey yet. We're going to see if we can get our new guest to have a shot with us.
I highly doubt it.
I have to give him stuff all the time because he's a good dude. This guy right here. So, anyways, Aaron, what you got for me? What's going on?
We just had our mixer.
We did.
A fantastic turnout last night. It was a lot of fun.
I know.
Gabe had like over 20 people, I bet.
Dude, that's so amazing.
Yeah, it's pretty fun.
Actually, I want him to be a part of this, so I'm going to bring him on. Bam! There he is. The one and the only, the boss man, our broker, Mr. Russ Orchard.
Hey, I'm excited to be here. I don't know what we're doing.
He has no clue.
Yeah, I don't know what you're asking me, what we're talking about.
We called him, 20 minutes ago and said, hey, dude.
It might have been a little more than that, but not much.
What are you doing at 10 o'clock?
Exactly.
We're gonna discuss brokerages. We're gonna discuss.
Oh, we got all kinds of good stuff.
SOI. I mean, some of
VIP 50. Some of the stuff that this guy taught us. Yeah.
Cool. Okay.
So, but let's get through our team real quick. So we had our mixer, had a fantastic show up. Thank you, Sean and Tara, for letting us come to the Wing Nuts out there in Draper. It was a fantastic. We loved going there.
We filled the place up.
Oh, the place was full. I saw people leaving.
Yeah.
That walked up and couldn't get seating and walked away. I felt bad, but it is what it is. We kind of do that. We kind of take over the space.
You know what's fun? We actually Nate had friends that showed up.
That's awesome.
I don't think that was planned, but one of his best friends came out and with his wife and kids and
nice.
Yeah, just happened to be at the same spot, so he got to see some people he knows.
And our guy Mike showed up that does some of our home inspections. Just wanted to do a shout out to him because I know he's going under the knife on I believe next Tuesday getting some surgery done. So
that's the hip.
That's the hip.
Wow.
Yep. So hopefully
he sucks.
He's younger than me. I've got good hips. I don't care what my wife says. I don't have bursitis. She is wrong. Dead wrong.
She tries to diagnose you?
Oh, no. She knows exactly what's going on.
She works
for it, dude. Yeah. She knows exactly what's going on.
She told you exactly what you need, huh?
I call them gel hips. Because when you go to gel, the pads are so small that, dude, it kills your hips. And I just, a friend told me that.
Okay.
I thought you said gel, not jail.
Jail.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, I envisioned like gel inside your hip socket.
I thought you said it first too. Yeah.
No, I'm talking when you go to gel, like county gel.
So when it's funnier when you say it that way.
Right.
When you lay down, your hips hurt because you're laying on the hard surface.
Yeah, I get a flare up or whatever, and it just, when you, and it's so funny we're talking old dude shit.
I think it's actually just saggy old skin.
But every once in a while you get that flare up and it's almost like you it's just that dull ache, like when you have a leg that's got restless leg or whatever you call it. Yeah, it's no fun. It just doesn't ever go away.
I heard the leaner you get, also the more uncomfortable because you have less
padding.
You have less pad. Yeah.
So
I'm looking forward to that problem one day.
Right.
I've never had that problem.
Well, you're carrying around a bucket load, dude.
I've never had
you know
that
what?
problem.
Every single time you're walking, those babies are working.
I know. I know.
Anyways, shout out to you, Mike.
Shauna's couple.
The closing today.
She has a closing today so they came out. It was great. It was awesome.
It.
Yeah.
Love it.
Cool.
I've got a closing coming up here in a week or so. A couple of them. 1st of October. I'm trying to, like a madman, get one of my listings under contract so that we can go and find them the other house that they need, and
they're ready.
Yep. And then, of course, I've got the Ridge up on top of South Mountain.
Yeah,
Up
if
at
anybody's
Suncrest.
looking to do a restaurant up on Suncrest, that
Full
Royal
turnkey
on the Ridge.
restaurant. I mean, I'm talking, you could open immediately,
and a
like no
1,000
pause.
homes captive, audience marketplace.
It's got a pizza oven straight from Italy that is like the centerpiece of the whole restaurant. That's amazing. I mean, all the equipment's there. I mean, it is literally a turnkey business for 1.8. Give me a break.
Yeah, wow.
Like it's just
What a deal.
yeah. And the building is cool. Like it's not just some nasty hole in the wall. It's an amazing space. And the cool thing is it's you own the dirt, you own the building, you own the business.
Wow, that's great.
Yeah, it's fantastic opportunity. So somebody's going to jump on it.
Yep, I'll get it.
Yep. Go Utes.
Yes.
Did you guys see the commercial they did where they were making fun of Utah State out in the cow pasture?
No.
Dude, oh my gosh, it's so funny. It's like I think it's their kicker. Is they were showing off their uniforms they're wearing, and he's out in the field with those little. People have the pictures on the wall with the cows that have the kind of crazy face, but they're dwarf cows.
Okay.
So it's this tiny little cow,
long fur.
and then he was roping and throwing it on some bullhorns and riding a horse.
Are they playing Utah State?
They are.
Okay.
That's why.
Yeah, tomorrow.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it up at Utah State?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, and it's a late game. I think it starts at like
No,
6 or
2:30.
7. Oh, it is.
2:30 is what I'm pretty sure I saw.
Really?
That. Yeah.
I could have swore they said that, but I'll watch it no matter what.
Yeah.
And who's BYU playing this week?
Who?
Yeah, we don't care.
I think they're playing the Sisters of the Poor.
Well,
I have no idea.
I have no idea either. Do you? No.
No.
We're horrible. Like if they're playing somebody outside of Utah, then
it just doesn't matter.
we should care if they're playing somebody outside of Utah.
Okay.
No, I will root for them if they're.
Yeah, I do too.
It's not playing Utah, but
I'll tell you guys a really funny story. So my dad, God rest his soul, passed away numbers of years ago, but he was a huge BYU fan. And back, Steve Young, he loved Steve Young. But my dad was kind of like me. He's very vocal, and he would just sit and yell at the TV and call them little sissies and you girls. And
My grandpa also was. When I walked on at the U, I came back after my tryout, and he had decorated my office blue.
oh man,
Yeah, and he'd always walk up and he'd go, "You look in there." He goes, "There's blue in there," because your veins look
Yeah.
blue.
yeah.
Anyways,
that's funny.
yeah, he was an absolute fanatic.
I'm trying to think. I know who was it? Had some neighbors or somebody I knew of that lived right next door to each other, and one of them loved BYU, one loved the U of U, and they would literally mess with each other all the time, like take their stuff down, and
Dude, that's fun.
it's funny. So tomorrow night there's a pretty killer UFC fight going on. It's in the Dome down in Vegas.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I can't remember the kid's name that's fighting, but it's going to be good. So, a little bit of sports action going on. Kind of bummed we don't have the tailgate to go up to and hang out.
Yep.
Russ, have you ever gone up to the tailgate?
I never have. No.
You want to join us one day and come up
I
there?
might. Yeah, I was at the game last week.
Dude,
But, yeah, I
just
was there.
show up a little early and come and hang out with
Yeah,
us
I
crazies.
should have, yeah.
In the parking lot.
I should have.
We'll have
That'd be
Bishop
so-
Orchard out there
that'd
with
be
us
so
blessing
fun.
everybody.
That's right.
so-
Bring your spirit water or whatever it is.
Yeah.
It's wrong
that's
religion.
I was going to say that's the wrong religion.
I'm just kidding.
You're good.
Okay. Any other announcements? Anything?
Gabe has his mixer this Thursday.
Oh yeah, his conference or
Yeah,
whatever you want to call it.
He's doing a young professionals mastermind, basically.
Are they doing it here?
Yep.
Nice.
Yep. So next Thursday it starts at 6. He's got our friend Josh Graves who's owns Bullfit. He's creating a pre-workout nutrition supplement.
Okay.
He's also a mortgage guy, but he's now. His focus is on building this brand and product. So
Good for him.
Anyways, last time he had, I bet you 20 kids come through. He'll have a great turnout.
Yeah.
Especially with Josh collaborating on it. So it's It's going to be a fun one.
I know he's going to ask us to come and speak at one of them soon.
We're going to actually roll through all the leadership, lead on everybody to come.
Nice.
What the idea is it's
That's
young.
what it's all about.
His SOI. He's trying to create value by bringing some of this kind of goal setting, best practices, and bringing
financing, how to save money, bringing
in successful people that are like into their lives and careers, and talking to these young bucks that can get their right foot up.
I actually have somebody that would be great for him to bring. For
Perfect.
That.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
We'll send him over and have him talk to you.
Yeah. Yeah, I got somebody that this guy's probably early 30s, making over $1 million a year. So
Wow.
Heck yeah.
In real estate?
No, not from real estate.
Okay, that's fine.
Different business. But
Yeah, I love it.
Way cool.
Yep. All right, so let's get to the man. The man. So, Russ, for those of you that don't know, Russ is our broker here at Century 21 Everest. And, he's just, I'm just going to give you a lead in, dude. I really have so much respect for you. And just,
Thank you.
I pop into your office sometimes. I give you a ton of shit all the time. But you're just such a calm dude, man.
Thank you.
It takes that kind of person.
We were discussing just the kind of investment and contribution you make to everyone here, and you are very well loved in the office. We really appreciate you. So
yeah, we do. We wanted to let you guys
that's
let you know.
That's going to be a consensus. That's going to be a consensus, I would dare say, throughout our office.
Something was wrong with the Wi-Fi. So is my picture still working?
Yeah, I still got it. Looks good to me.
Good. Well, thank you. I appreciate that.
How long have you been a broker?
How long have I been the principal broker? A broker.
Functioning as a broker, and then
I got my broker's license in 2004.
Wow.
Was when I decided to do that. So I've had it for 20 years, and then became the principal broker almost 2 years ago now.
Okay.
So
and had you been the principal broker anywhere else before here?
Not the principal broker. I've been a branch broker a few times at other offices, and I was with Coldwell Banker for almost 20 years, I guess. But
didn't Rick used to be with them too?
He did, yeah.
Yeah, I thought so.
Yeah. So and usually there it was more of a fill-in as being the branch broker. I was just kind of filling in, but yeah, this is the first time I've been the principal broker. So.
And what's your take?
Don't do it.
Herding cats, right?
Yeah, no, it's interesting is probably the way I would say it. Like it's amazing the stuff that you end up having to help people with that sometimes good, sometimes not so good.
Real estate's like the biggest bunch of babies, and
the thing I will say here's what I will say, and I don't know if you guys want me saying this or not.
Oh, sure.
But as the principal broker, I get to deal with attorneys quite often. I mean, I talked to two yesterday, and I kind of would just say, like, we're professionals. As real estate agents, we are a profession.
Yes, we are.
No different than a CPA and a doctor,
exactly.
and a dentist, an attorney. And I think, though, we don't treat it as professional as the other professionals
us in the industry.
Yeah, real estate agents don't treat it that way, meaning we miss a deadline, and we're and constantly what I'm hearing from people is, oh well, yeah, but I had this or I had that, and
doesn't matter.
Yeah, when I talk to our attorneys, and they're like, you miss a deadline, you missed the deadline, and even yesterday, the attorney I was talking to said, judges in Utah don't care that you're a first-time home buyer and you're young. Right. Like, it doesn't matter.
Like, you had a deadline.
You had a deadline. It's a contract. You should have read it. And he's constantly emphasizing that if you sign a contract, you're agreeing not only that you read it, but you understood it.
Exactly.
So,
no, I agree.
Well,
it's hopefully we're not and have not been too big of a pain in your butt.
No.
You know what? Our job is really why somebody is hiring us is to be that oversight and remind that person that hey, you got a I mean, that's one of the simple parts of our job. But
so in layman's
it's still
terms,
not happening. Is what clearly.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So in layman's terms, let me explain, because not everybody understands the whole structure of how it works. us guys as agents, once we get licensed as an agent, we have a very specific period of time that we have to place our license with a broker like you in a brokerage.
Correct.
Because basically, you're our overseer. It's your butt that's on the line if we're out there doing stupid shit.
Correct. Yep.
Yeah.
But what he was referring to is inside of even a simple contract, there's dates and deadlines.
Yeah.
Mountain Standard Time at 5 p.m. Deadlines trip, and then everybody goes,
Oh.
I didn't know.
I'm 21. I didn't realize.
Exactly.
Well, you know what? I
leeway.
actually have one that I'm dealing with right now that I'm working through that and it was nobody's fault but my own, and I'll own it. I was driving and working and had to do a cancellation, and I checked the wrong box.
Yeah.
Because I wasn't
cancel
paying.
for the wrong reason, but
Yep. It was all. I mean, it was a simple typo. It wasn't anything major, and we've worked through it. But it's serious stuff, dude. Because it's people's money.
Yep.
Not to say we're not learning all the time. I mean, you and I had one pretty bonehead one earlier this year. Just
I don't even remember,
simply read the contract would have been good.
Right. Oh, I remember.
That's
I don't
usually
remember what it's about.
It didn't impact my client, but it sure impacted my commission.
Oh, yes. Oh, that's right. It was because it was on the sales price, not
Base price versus sales
Right.
price. I'm like, it's a home.
Yep.
You know what?
It's a 2-year-old home. What base price?
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
But it was still a brand new home, never been owned.
But they had their paperwork that showed that.
They
So
explained it all. Yep.
Yep. No, I had one of those down in St. George, and I mean, I caught it and went after him hard, and I got it changed.
So he's touching on something pretty important. I was pretty casual.
Yep.
Yeah, but you can't be.
That's what he's saying.
Yeah.
That's my point.
I was super casual in how I looked at and handled it. I wasn't covering my. I wasn't.
We are professionals.
Sorry, but I'm lucky that didn't hurt my client.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean,
absolutely.
really.
Correct.
And you'd have had some upset people. Anyways,
Yep.
the least of the cost was my commission, I guess. But still.
Yeah.
So, Russ, I'll be honest with you, man. I have zero interest in ever becoming a broker. I may get my broker license just to say I have it, but dude,
what level of liability is there? Is there another level of liability on our part if we do take on that label?
If you become a broker?
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
No. And in fact, I would say, really, to me, I think the advantage to doing that is as you are out dealing with the public, when you say you're a broker,
right? It's got some weight.
It carries more weight.
Yeah,
than,
okay.
Especially a lot of times agents will go become a CRS, GRI, all
Right.
those things. Those are just letters after your name, but broker
And nobody knows what they are, but everybody knows.
Everybody
broker.
knows a broker.
I don't think a lot of people know the distinction between an agent and a broker. I don't think a lot of the public, so to say, understand that we are seriously over that you're in position over us.
Correct.
because if, like I said, if we're out doing bonehead things, it directly reflects you.
Yep.
So a broker's job is oversight. What does that mean?
So yeah, I guess what I would just say is really when somebody signs a contract with our brokerage, they're really signing it with me as the broker, and so as a result
right.
of that, it's.
Does that make you nervous at all?
Yeah, it does from time to time for sure. Yeah, but I also am like, I think going back to when you say,
Aaron can barely tie his shoes, and I'm responsible for
exactly. No, but when you say I'm level-headed, is that how you say?
Yeah,
it?
no, you're calm. You're
That's
just calm.
Like that's kind of just how I am too.
Would you say I'm a calm guy?
No. But I would say, though, I probably shouldn't be. Like, I probably don't worry about stuff I should worry about. But I kind of just go, I mean, I guess the worst that happens is somebody screws up bad enough that I end up, it costs me in terms of my license or whatever. And I just go, all right, well, I guess I'll
Could I do something that would do that?
I don't know that you really could, but it's like probably if I knew,
that's a big
probably if I knew was like didn't do something about it. So that's part of like we do. In fact, I got in whatever time it is now, but 11 o'clock. I'm doing the compliance call. So part of why every Friday I do a call
is that?
with the agents. Yeah. I know you. That's the problem. See, but to answer your question though, the reason I do that every Friday we do a compliance call where we'll talk about, hey, here's stuff you need to know, and the reason I do that is because if somebody did something that could cost me my license, if I can go to the state and show I trained on that, I provided training, whether you showed up or not, really it probably doesn't matter. But it's I provided the training. It was there. He chose not to come to it, or she chose not to come to it.
Smart.
And so therefore, it absolves me from that responsibility of. So that's why I say I probably don't worry as much as maybe I could or should, because I typically I'm going to have something in our files to show. Here's when I did
that you did your job.
Yeah, that I tried.
Have you ever been reprimanded?
Not by the state, no.
Yeah.
Or even the division. I mean, sorry, the division or the board, no.
Good. And I know that's kind of a loaded question, but I mean, literally, that would make me so nervous, dude. Because, I mean, just you look at some of the talent out there, and it's kind of scary.
Yeah.
Like, literally.
Yep. Well, and that's just it. And I don't really fully know, like who are agents listening to this, your clients, is it both?
All the above.
But I would just say that is kind of a distinct difference of Everest versus some of the others. Like there are some companies that, I don't think I would be willing to be the principal broker of, just because.
Just the Wild West.
The Wild West.
Yeah.
And even with ours, I wish agents would come participate more in trainings, but so it makes a difference.
Well, it makes a difference when I come and sit in your office, and I obviously have something going on that I'm a little worked up about, because that happens time to time, and you're just so calm, dude. It literally calms me.
He just kind of smiles across the table.
He does, and he's just like, well, blah, 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 tell me what it is, and da-da-da-da-da. And you know what? Jason's a lot the same, too. He's a calm guy, so I appreciate you guys being calm when I'm not.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah.
So, a little congratulations to you. I hear there's some new changes, so let me pull up this slide. The man.
Yeah, the only man on there.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't even notice that.
Well,
he was the
token.
Well, token, or there's a hiring.
What's the? I don't know.
Affirmative action.
Yeah, affirmative action or something like that. I don't know. Anyway.
So. You just got voted on to the Salt Lake City board.
Yeah, so the board of directors for the Salt Lake Board of Realtors. Yep. So it looks like I'm the only male, but there's 16 people.
These are just the new ones.
Yeah, these are just the new ones.
So, and what does that entail? What does this entail?
So, and when meaning
what's your new board? What are you taking on?
What did you say? The board of directors.
The board of directors. Yeah. So, I mean, just think of it as any board of directors that you would have, whether it's at an HOA or a company. Is the board of directors?
They're the governing.
They're the ones kind of deciding the direction and all that kind of stuff.
I love it.
Of where
voting
you're
in, voting out, different. Like with all the changes going on with NAR.
Yep. What things should we focus on? How should we train? What kinds of things should we do? And so,
I will tell you that the change so normally on the Rep C, or excuse me, on the ERS, exclusive right to sell, you would put the total amount, or the total percentage that the client or that the seller was willing to pay, and then you would put what we're going to give to the buyer's agent. Now there's no total.
Yeah.
It's just whatever it is, and whatever it is, there's no total, which seems really kind of backwards to me.
And you know what's funny about that is our contract had it like you were saying. You had the total that the seller was going to pay us in commission, and then how much we were giving to the buyer. And it took forever for us to get the agents trained that you put in the total amount, and then of that amount, how much is going to go to the buyer's agent. And
that's all I've ever known.
Right. But now it's
flipped.
Reverse, sort of, to where it's kind of like the first top line is just how much the seller is going to pay us. The next one is if they're willing to pay something towards that.
I have a question. So an agent tried to school me just when he was asking what we're offering as compensation. I guess if we're offering it if the seller is offering it as part of that agreement, the initial front end agreement, he's telling me that if he comes in and asks for his amount, he's like they couple. He goes, essentially you end up doubling what you're compensating.
No way.
Yeah, no,
he's
that's
full of it,
I was
dude.
like,
yeah, that's the
Yeah,
problem
nice
is-
try, pal.
Well, because what on the exclusive right to sell, the listing agreement with the seller, that is saying is just that you can advertise that they would pay that. So it's not that they are paying it. It's they're allowing you to advertise that they will agree to. So they haven't agreed to pay anything until you either do the compensation agreement or the brokerage fee payment addendum.
You know what's interesting? I saw a post today on social media, and it was just it was on a real estate site, and they were basically reprimanding listing agents for keeping 3.5% and only paying out 2.5%. It was just, I thought it was interesting.
Yeah.
You know?
What as you're seeing this change happening, have you seen any value or benefit from it as on the consumer side?
From the consumer side, I don't know that they're. In fact, my
think it's
personal
worse.
opinion is it's not a good thing for the consumers.
I agree. I just was kind of curious because you see way more.
Well, let's talk about this.
No, here's more what I'm, and I don't know if you want to talk about this, but here's more what I'm concerned with is I got a call yesterday from a broker, and this is, I think we're going to see a ton of this, and so we got to figure out how we're going to handle this. But I got a call from a broker yesterday saying, hey, my agent signed a buyer broker with these buyers, and we just found out your agent just wrote an offer and got them under contract. And so therefore our agent has a buyer broker now with them as well. And he was kind of like, so what are we going to do? Well, see, in the past we would go to the board, do an arbitration, figure out who the procuring cause was. That's who's going to get paid the commission. Well, procuring cause is
because it's not in there.
It's pretty much gone because the procuring cause is the seller was offering to pay this.
Yes.
So now the issue is going to be how are we handling this?
How do you determine it?
Because we've got two.
Do you understand it?
This buyer has signed two different buyer brokers.
Well, if he did a blanket buyer broker that didn't specify, because remember we talked about how one agent could specify the home.
Yep.
That would allow the buyer to literally walk to the next home and sign it with someone else and write an offer, and not legally be in jeopardy.
Bound to. Yeah.
So is that the scenario?
But if it's open-ended.
Yeah, I actually don't know all of the details yet, but just I'm still trying to gather all the information, but when I got the call yesterday, I realized this is probably what my job is going to consist of.
What's their really true intent?
And we're going to be on both sides of it, where one, maybe you guys signed a buyer broker with somebody and then they went and signed with somebody else and bought the house.
So what do you think is going to happen here?
I don't know.
He has to see the agreements because if it was blanket and
I'll give you the answer that I get from every time I call an attorney. It depends.
Right. It totally depends.
So I don't know. Yeah. The hard part is I think what's going to happen is kind of when I talked to our attorney yesterday, he said it probably, now he didn't have all the details, so that's why I say depends, but he said probably, though, it is between that brokerage and the buyer for them to go to them and say, you signed an agreement and you now owe us a commission because you bought a house.
Oh, wow.
So I doubt that brokerages will follow through with that, but that's
bad business, man.
Yeah, and the challenge, though, is that potentially if they signed the buyer broker first and then we did, they could try to make a claim that of tortious interference. Basically, we interfered with their contract that they had, and
what a mess.
Oh, so back to answering your question, or whoever it was that asked the question of, is this good for the public?
No,
I don't think so, because really, this scenario now has put that buyer in a position that they could potentially owe two different commissions. Now, imagine if they go out and signed it with four different people.
Oh man, because they don't know any better.
Right? Yep.
And on top of that, I think another big, huge.
Actually, can I ask a question real quick?
Yeah.
So the way the law is stipulating right now, just thinking out loud, the buyers are calling listing agents. Mm-hmm. Technically, am I supposed to get a buyer broker to show that person?
No.
Okay.
If you're showing your listing or you're doing an open house, you do not need, because you are acting as an agent for the seller in that scenario.
Okay.
Now, the moment they want you to show them a different house or to start to help them on the purchase of maybe your listing, Now you're
Okay.
going to.
So what do you think's going to happen? How many write-ups in the next newsletter do you think is going to be people that didn't get that buyer broker signed?
Well, so that's the other thing that's interesting is that it's the state. This is different from the state. The MLS is the one who has to. So it's fines is what you're going to get from the MLS. But
aren't we going to see? I mean, isn't that part of that newsletter or whatever where they show all the different people they reprimanded, or is that that's
from the division? That's from the state. And so the state, nothing's changed from the state's perspective.
Don't care.
Well, no, they care because they want you to get the buyer broker signed as soon as you start to act as an agent, but they don't necessarily care that you get it signed before you go show a house.
Right. No, it's a mess. And then on top of that, and this is where I was going with it, is I truly feel like this does nothing but pit the buyers against the sellers and causes more rift between the buyers and the sellers because now you've got competition between the buyers and the sellers over there. I'm not going to pay your commission.
Yeah.
You pay your own damn commission.
Isn't there?
But yet they're not lowering the prices to recognize the freaking commission.
That's right.
They just want it all.
Right. Isn't there? Isn't there something called alienation? Isn't that illegal? Isn't that illegal?
I am not an attorney, so I don't know.
I'm wondering what this is.
I'm alienating you right now.
I know, but there's what I think's really going. This is really causing a rift and a divide. It further dividing our profession. Like it's like the consumer is even more. They have more animosity to us.
Oh,
because of this.
For sure.
Like this literally is,
and it's not our fault.
Yeah, it'll be between the agents and the buyers and sellers. Yeah, it's not.
My last deal down in Kanab, where it's a smaller market, I think that they hear all the national news and they think, oh yeah, I'm going to save money now and blah blah blah. And dude, I had to put up my dukes and fight.
Yeah.
For my commission.
So do you want me to give you the real kicker on this? We only have to do this for 7 years, and then we can go right back to doing it how we've been doing it.
Are you shitting me?
Nope. The settlement, this was just part of the settlement,
I bet
unless it's a 7-year thing.
Unless there's some equilibrium figured out, I bet it just goes right back.
Probably.
100% in 7 years from now, unless we, like you say, if we figure out a way to make it work better, which is possible.
It is possible.
Then it will, but
I haven't seen it yet.
Won't. Yeah.
And I know it's still fairly new, and I'm not saying it won't, but...
Yeah, no, but interesting that in 7 years from now we could go right back to.
What's crazy is it's just a new way to skin a cat. It's the same. It turns out to be the same,
especially here in Utah, because we already were doing what we were supposed to be doing. The most
ironic thing to me, and I'm sure you guys maybe have already talked about this before, but the most ironic is that this whole class action lawsuit is saying that basically we make too much money, yet how much money the attorneys are getting they're getting 30, 40, 50% of this.
Calling the kettle black, baby.
We were getting a 6 or a 7 or a 5% commission, and they're getting 30%.
No shit. And making millions and millions.
What
was the settlement? 700 and...
Oh, it's going to be...
Take 30% of that.
Well, if just from, not the settlement, but from... the lawsuit would have been like $5 billion, but it's going to be somewhere in the neighborhood of $1 billion, and the attorneys are going to get 30 to 50% of that.
Exactly.
So,
freaking
300 to $500 million.
That's right, attorneys, you're wolves.
All the people who get to be part of the class action lawsuit will get $20 or $30.
So let me ask you this, and if you don't want to answer this, I understand, because let me just ask you.
Okay.
One, what is your opinion of NAR? Do you think that they sold us out? And two, what's your opinion of the new association, the American, what is it, that the dude Moransky it came out with? The new.
I'm not aware of that. So
you're not? Yeah, there's a whole brand new, it's basically to compete with NAR, because they've had it with NAR.
Gotcha.
And Mauricio Umansky, the big dog from the agency, is spearheading it with some other big fish from the East Coast. They've had it with NAR.
Yeah, I'm not aware. So I'll have to check into that because I don't know.
Yeah, so, I can forward it to you because I actually joined it.
I would say I still truly believe NAR is a good thing. Like, I think because of all of the lobbying and things, that the weight that carries, I think it's a good thing. I'm disappointed that I
how fast they threw in the towel.
Yeah, I'm not claiming I know all the details, but I kind of felt like the attorneys representing NAR didn't do a very good job. That's kind of what it seems to me. But yeah, no, I don't. I'm happy with NAR. And here's the thing. Part of why I say that, for years, I wasn't as concerned about donating to RPAC, the political action funds, but
it's important.
But then I had actually a friend of mine that's an agent said to me one day, could you go somewhere else and make the kind of money we're making from real estate? And at the time, I was like, yeah, I don't have a degree. I do now. I didn't then, but I was like, I don't have a degree. Yeah, I probably should help pay to get the lobbying and stuff. And when you think about what it does for Utah, we don't have tax on services that a lot of states do. And so anyway, so I think it's good to have the representation. I just, and I don't know enough, but I feel like the attorneys could have done a better job even settling it. To me, my opinion is, why didn't we just have the sellers, meaning have it say that everybody's listing agreement needed to be the way that ours were in Utah, where it says the seller understands how much is paying to the buyer and they're agreeing to it.
We're like the outside that's getting punished because other states weren't doing but we've always done that.
Yeah, and to me, I feel like that's what they should have settled on. I think the two things I think. One is they should have settled on the seller has to agree to it up front to what they're going to pay.
Yeah,
and make it to where the buyer agent commission or buyer broker commission is visible to the public too. Those would have been the two things I think should have.
Which nobody would have had a problem with that.
Nobody would have had a problem with any of that.
No, I wouldn't have.
Nope.
So
anyway,
man, that's
7 years from now we can worry about that. Yeah,
shoulda, coulda, woulda.
Checked with me. No.
All right, so moving right along, I'm going to bring up this slide. So I pulled up some stats from just off the MLS. Probably can't see that. Let me tell you, I should have printed them off, Aaron. Can you read that with your eyeballs? Because I sure can't.
I got this chart that I can't read.
So it's just talking. It's just the overall
active backup under contracts withdrawn and solds, and it just talks about from a year ago today. So it's the comparison of last year to this year.
Okay.
And it just basically shows that we're
even in the market we're in right now. It's still the numbers. The statistics are higher and better, even in the market we're in.
Oh yeah.
Well, we're up by 21% or almost 22% in active listing volume, but we're down in sales.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. What else? I couldn't see.
I don't think so. It's higher. It's higher, dude.
No, we're negative 9.14 and
we're
almost just over 9% negative.
The
off
market's
of last
down
year.
in terms of the number of sales.
Okay.
Yeah.
So right now we've got just over 10,000 listings on the MLS, which, I mean, I remember a year and a half ago, there was maybe 3,000.
We're at 11,000 active, it said, and we're at 9,000 last year at this time.
Oh, we were last year at this time,
but we're still up. We're still up 21%.
It's increasing, yeah.
But we're still less than 3% on the or three months on the market, right? We're do you know the average days?
Average day was like 40, 40 something.
That's somewhere around there.
Which is still that's a buyer's market.
Yeah,
still.
We're still in a buyer's market for sure.
Mm-hmm.
The challenge we have is the affordability.
Exactly. Interest rates have started coming down. I mean, I saw what's the mortgage gurus or whatever they are had it listed yesterday at 5.66 or something.
Yeah, it's great.
I mean, I don't know how accurate, and I think that would have to be pretty accurate because they couldn't advertise that like that.
Yeah, there's one billboard on I-15. It
was like
that is always much. Yeah, that one's the one that I'm always like, there's something fishy with that one. There's points or something that they're having, but the ones that you see mostly are pretty accurate, I think.
Well, you know what? I'm going to throw this out there as well because I get. I mean, obviously every social media group and all that, I join the groups out there, and I know you do too, Aaron. But a lot of these bigger home builders, like the big guys, Edge Homes, I don't know all the names, but, Ivory, all of them.
Subsidized rate.
They subsidize their own rate because they're their own mortgage company.
Yep.
So they're trying to keep everything in house. And I mean, dude, I got one yesterday, and they're talking. It was either 2 or 3%.
Yeah.
Like solo.
Yep.
So for any of you out there,
you don't know if that's a 2-1 buy down. You don't know what they're.
Yeah, but here's my point.
Propping.
If you're thinking about buying a house and you're worried or struggling to get qualified to go buy that house, call us and we'll put you in that position where you could maybe buy a brand new house and get the interest rate down enough that it's an affordable payment.
Yep.
I mean, it's a fantastic option.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
Yep. No, I agree.
I know Sparrow has some pretty good rates for sure too as well.
Yeah, and in Sparrow right next door, our preferred lender, I know Cynthia bangs on it hard and works on it hard.
Yeah.
So, all right. What I know you got your call out coming out real soon. And
Yeah, that you guys will be on, I'm sure, right?
Right.
What are you teaching today?
I do not even know yet. We'll figure it out when I get
I'm horrible because I didn't even know you did that.
You've obviously unsubscribed from our company text.
No.
Because you get one every day.
They come in and I swipe right and hit.
I was going to say, keep an eye. You'll get one here in about 10 minutes that says join the compliance call.
Well, I get so many of them. I just got in a bad habit where I swipe to the right and go red.
Yep. Well, and I'm okay with that because, like I say, when you get in trouble with the division, I'll say we provided it.
That's right.
So anyway.
So you got anything else you want to throw out there before we kick off the air? Any announcements? Anything you want to say?
No, I mean, I guess probably the only thing I would just say, I think the biggest challenge that we're seeing in Utah in terms of real estate is just the affordability.
Yes.
And thankfully, that is on the government's radar, meaning our current governor, I don't know who will be come November, but has plans to create new housing of starter homes, like meaning homes that are affordable, which so
will they subsidize with grants and stuff like that?
He didn't say specifically how they're going to do it, but the plan is to get 35,000 starter homes built.
Dang.
Because we're that far behind. We are. The number I heard last was 50,000. We're 50,000 below. We're going to need 50,000 new houses over the next few years.
Where the hell are they going to put them all?
Well, that's the problem. So
there'll be townhomes and.
I don't know exactly. But,
they're like me and Aaron. They're pushing out the buttons.
I don't see. That's the other challenge we have is we're surrounded by mountains and a lake, and
right.
So where do you go? But anyway,
north.
What are your thoughts? There's all this talk right now that as we're seeing these rates come down, the affordability questions here. A lot of people are sitting and waiting for it to become more affordable.
Don't wait.
I know, right? So
don't wait. Yeah, the moment if all of a sudden rates went down even another 0.5%, I think we are going to see another buying frenzy.
Which there's no reason it shouldn't before the election.
Well, and I would say get in and get the house now. You can refinance. You can't change the price a year from now. You could refinance. You could change your rate.
When the buyers come back in the market, it means basically it's going to push up demand. And prices go up.
Home prices will go up. They are people that are waiting for them to come down now. Lest something crazy happens,
right?
Well,
there's those one-offs in I neighborhood that people have to leave and they drop. But most people are holding price.
Yeah, your prices are not going to come down.
Right.
So, I wouldn't plan on that.
Well, and let's be honest, Russ. I mean, your two favorite agents here in the brokerage and the two that you depend on the most and the two that you promote the most.
Absolutely.
I mean, it has to be us.
100%. It's you guys.
If you were quick, you'd have been like, yeah, Stacy and Bob.
I was trying to come up with two quick names.
Right, you couldn't do it.
It didn't hit me fast enough. I was like, I'm so
Aaron and Perry.
Yeah, I know. I was trying to think of a funny way to say your names that was like,
right.
That's not us.
Who Bob and Nancy?
Yeah.
No, come on. You know we're your favorite. Yeah. I tell my mom has 9 kids, and I tell her all the time, I'm your favorite.
Yeah, no, I'm my mom's favorite for sure.
For sure.
Yeah, 100%. But yeah.
So if my family's watching, just No.
Fred and Barney, you guys are the best.
You got it.
Or Bert and Ernie, maybe that's all right.
Ernie. I'm Ernie.
Yeah.
I'll be Bert.
All righty, people. Well, thank you so much, Russ, man.
thanks
We
for
love you,
coming out,
dude.
man.
Thank
Yeah,
you so
love you
much
guys.
for coming on our show in such a short notice,
You're welcome.
and love the information. Love you, and
Thanks for all your support all the
yeah,
time.
man.
Yeah, and this was the best podcast you've ever had, right? I'm
Right, sure
Yes,
was,
ever.
for sure.
Okay,
Sure
good.
was.
Well, heck. All right, people.
Okay.
Well, thank you so much. Have a fantastic weekend. Stay safe, and we